Hi, Stefan Kesting from grapplearts.com and beginningbjj.com. What I want to talk about today are 4 concepts or 4 ideas that should make your guard passing a lot better, should make it a lot tighter and a lot easier. So the first concept, if I could go into Richie's closed guard, please. This applies to the closed guard, it applies to the half guard, it applies to the butterfly guard, it applies to the spider guard, it applies with the gi, without the gi, is grip fighting. You have to grip fight. If Richie has got my wrist, got me broken down, if he's got my head, if he's got my posture destroyed here, if he's got my arm wrapped, it's very, very, very difficult for me to pass the guard. People always talk about posture, but the first step of posture is grip fighting. If he can't grab me, then I can take whatever posture I want. So posture and grip fighting do go together, and I should fight like a demon to get my grips, to deny him his grip. Until I have his wrist control, until I have his grips stripped off of my head, until I have my arm out of here, I'm not going anywhere. Now, of course, there's a couple of techniques that you can do when he does have the overhook, but first of all, I don't specialize in those techniques. Second of all, I think once you start playing that game, there's a danger that he knows his game of the overhook better than I know my game, which is passing the guard with the underhook in this particular position. So, first and foremost, strip the grip. This applies whether you're standing, kneeling, gi, no gi, jiu-jitsu, MMA. I fight, I get the grip, then I can make posture. Now, once you have posture, we get to the second thing, which is have a couple ways to do everything. Let's say my #1 guard break is to control the chest, put my leg out, and pop his leg open. Let's say that's my only guard break. Now I run into a guy who's just built, he's got super long legs, or he's super good at ski jumping as I'm here, he pops up on my leg every single time. If that's my only way to open the guard, I'm really in trouble, because he might be better at that one defense than I am at my one technique. So you want to have 2 ways at least to open the guard. You want to have 2 ways to pass. Let's say I'm standing up. I'm standing up and we're here. Now, once again, the first thing I do is grip fight. If he's sitting up and controlling me, I have to get rid of all this stuff. I've got him under control. Let's say all my guard passes rely on me going to my left. Maybe he's really, really, really good at defending on this side. Maybe everybody in his school passes the guard this way. That's why I have to have a way to pass left, and if he comes here, to go right. If I have all my guard passes are standing, maybe he's super good at defending standing guard passes. And maybe I have to have one way to come down onto my knees and pass from here. Don't only have standing, also have kneeling. Don't only have going left, also have going right. Now, the third idea that will really help you, I think, with your guard passing is to either be fast or to be heavy. I think a lot of people run into problems. Sit up, please, Richie. There are some guard passes that rely on speed. For example, Richie comes forward, I step here, and I go to the knee mount. That's a timing and a speed-based pass. It's a mobility pass. I have to be nimble. I have to be quick. A lot of people run into problems. I am so technical. I am Mr. Technical. Therefore, as he comes forward, I will step here very slowly. Boom, he's already gone. The pass is designed to be done quickly. Conversely, we're here. I'm doing the smashing pass. This pass is designed to be heavy. If I'm not being heavy, if I'm here, but I'm trying to be gentle and trying to be technical, he will defend this all day, he will counter it, and I will never get past that guard. If I'm doing a smashing style guard pass, I have to be heavy. Use that weight. Here, that was the mat. That was the mat. There's mobility games and there's pressure games. And be in one or the other, and when you're in a mobility type situation, don't be afraid of using speed and mobility. When you're in a pressure type situation, use your pressure. You might say, but I'm only 150 pounds. Well, 150 pounds in the right place is very, very heavy and hard to do. Imagine having a 150-pound mattress lying across your legs. Say we're here, we're doing this kind of guard pass, where I'm putting my weight down on his legs. I don't want to have weight on my knees. I don't want to be putting weight on my hands. I want to take all of my 150 pounds and put it right here on his thighs. That way I'd maximize the weight that I do. The weight that I do have. 150 pounds across Richie's neck here is enough to make him tap out. I'm not even using a fraction of my weight, but if I concentrated all right here, how would you like a barbell with 150 pounds straight across your neck? The fourth concept I hope you'll find useful is that of controlling your opponent at the end of the technique, of stabilizing the pass. You often hear Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coaches yelling, "Stabilize, stabilize," and they're trying to get their students at a tournament to get the points. But there's a point to those points. The point is, you don't want to do all that hard work. You don't want to spend the 2, 3, 4 minutes that it takes maybe to get rid of these grips, to finally get that underhook without endangering myself in the triangle, to fight my way past here, to finally get past, and boom, he reguards, puts me back in the guard, and now I got to start all over again. Or alternately, we're here, I pass the guard, and he rolls, and he stands up, and all that work is for nothing, because I did have to spend energy to get there. I did have to show him my technique. I did have to show him my intention. And now he knows what my technique is. Now I got to start at the beginning. That's pretty hard. So get really good at finishing the technique. For the low smashing guard passes, it often means controlling the space right here. When I'm passing, I want to keep this space here controlled. I don't want to allow him the room to bring this knee in. Most of his reguards start that way. So immediately I want to seal that. Either bring my knee in to that hip, bring my hand in to that hip, and stop this leg from coming up. For the standing guard passes, if I do pass and he does roll, like I've talked about in a previous YouTube video, I don't want to stop. I don't want to let it go past here. I want to get used to this being a cue, or even anticipating this, and at the very least, controlling the back position and making him suffer and making him tap out for rolling to his knees. I don't want to give him that space to roll and put me back in the guard, to roll and stand up. I want to be on him right away. And by not allowing that space and that time, I can capitalize against the roll. So just to summarize, the 4 things we talked about today. First of all, grip fighting. Super, super, super duper important. It's something that was emphasized to me both by Emily Kwok and by Brandon Mullins in my How to Defeat the Bigger, Stronger Opponent series. Both of them, who come from very different training backgrounds, they have very different bodies, they have rather different styles, they have different lineages. Both of them emphasize this again and again and again. And it makes sense. They're fighting much larger and bigger and stronger people than they are all the time. So they've really focused on this super important detail. And I found that when I use it, regardless of whether I'm fighting somebody bigger or smaller, grip fighting can compensate for a lot of other things. The second idea is always to have 2 things. Nobody's ever won a boxing match, or no good boxer only has 1 punch. If I only had the jab, I'd have to be so much better than you to beat you in a boxing match. But if I've got the jab and the cross, the jab and the cross and the hook, if I've got a couple different options, the jab setting up the cross setting up the hook, now it becomes a lot harder to beat me. Now I can actually throw down. Same thing on the ground. Passing left goes together with passing right. Staying on the ground goes together with standing up. The third option is to either be fast or to be heavy. Speed-based passes require, guess what? Speed. It sounds kind of obvious, but a lot of people forget this. I think it's this attempt to be technical and to be respectful. No, speed-based passes require speed. Pressure-based passes require pressure. And the fourth thing that will really help you is if you learn to either control and stabilize the end of the pass so that he doesn't immediately reguard or come to his knees or stand up. And failing that, to learn how to immediately take advantage of any opening that he gives you in the scramble to get to his knees, to put you in the guard, or to stand up. If you can learn to take advantage of that and have some really good answers to that, it'll make your guard passing much more effective.